Hello everybody, welcome back into Jar's Toy Emporium. My name is Jacob, and as you can tell, the Fantastic Four officially releases in movie theaters today. So I figured what better time than to show off my entire Fantastic Four Funko Pop collection. Let's get into it. Now, unfortunately, I haven't been able to pick up the brand new Fantastic Four First Step Funko Pops that have recently released. However, I will say I think those Funko Pops are absolutely incredible looking, and I do plan to add them to my collection at some point in the future. I think they did a really great job with the box art on them. The character design looks fantastic, and I love those Target exclusive astronaut ones because they put a lot of really cool detail into those, and I think that was a really cool idea for a movie that seems to have a lot of space themed around it. However, when we actually get to the theaters and see the movie, which I'm doing tonight, I'll have more of an idea if that was even really a realistic thing or something Funko should have done. However, it does look really cool. With that being said, while I don't have the brand new Fantastic Four Funko Pops, I do have a very large majority of the old ones. As you guys can see here, I've had them proudly displayed for quite some time because these are actually some of my favorite Marvel Funko Pops that they've ever done. So I'm really excited to kind of check out these Funko Pops with you guys, show them what we've gotten in the past, and you guys already have seen some of the new ones, I'm sure, so you guys can see if they think they're an improvement or did they really not get much better. Now let's start off with the main leader of the Fantastic Four, Mr. Fantastic. Now the Funko Pop that I have here is actually the Marvel Collector Core exclusive that not only did this Funko Pop come from, but also the shirt you guys see that I'm wearing. Overall, I think this is a really cool pop, and I think they did a pretty good job of showing off the stretching ability of Mr. Fantastic in this pop. Overall, I really like this one. You guys can see his body is a little bit elongated. Obviously, his hands are a little funky looking from that stretch, and I think this is just a really cool pop. Now, this Fantastic Four line actually came with quite a few pops in the collection. You guys can see we had a regular Mr. Fantastic, Invisible Girl, Human Torch, the Thing. Obviously, you got to have the Fantastic Four for the Fantastic Four Funko Pops, but we've got a Doctor Doom, we got Mole Man, Silver Surfer, Herbie, a Galactus, and a Super Skrull. So a pretty large line for the Fantastic Four Pops, but I'm all for it. Now, not only did they have the common run of Funko Pops, but they had quite a few exclusives like this one you guys are seeing right here. I unfortunately don't have the original Fantastic Four, Mr. Fantastic Funko Pop, but I do have this exclusive, which I think is better in my opinion. I kind of like the stretching ability that this one shows, and I didn't really see a reason to have both of them, so that's why I opted for the Marvel Collector Core exclusive. Next up, let's move over to Mr. Fantastic's wife, Invisible Girl. Now, this is a really cool pop, and I like how they did the idea of the invisible orbs on her hand here, but I do gotta say, the exclusive version that they did for this one does look a lot better and is one that I definitely need to pick up because she actually has translucent parts of her body, which I think represents Invisible Girl quite a bit better than these little orbs do. However, I think this is still a cool pop. This is ultimately one I would potentially consider selling if I ever got the other one, but it's a fine placement holder for now because it does complete the Fantastic Four. Now let's move on to everyone's favorite hothead, and that is Human Torch. Now the one I'm going to be showing you guys today is actually the Funko Specialty Series exclusive glow-in-the-dark version. This one does a really great job of showing off the Human Torch hands on fire, and the glow it's okay. It's not anything super special, but what I do like about this one is the common version of the Fantastic Four Human Torch isn't actually Johnny Storm. It's actually him fully engulfed in flames. So I was really happy that they did make a version of him that we could actually see Johnny's face because it's pretty great looking pop overall, and I really do like this one. Now, like I was just saying, I really do appreciate being able to actually see Johnny's face on that Funko Pop, but it doesn't mean that I didn't need the fully engulfed flame version of him with his flame on going on. So this is the Marvel Core exclusive Collector Core box one that went with the Mr. Fantastic that I just recently showed you guys. This one also glows in the dark, which this is the exact same mold as the common version. Well, a little bit different. His hands are kind of holding some flames here, but this one does glow in the dark as well. So that is why I don't have the common version of this one, is because I do have this cool glow in the dark one, and I think the mold is just a little bit better than the common. Next up, let's move over to the Clobber in Time Man himself, the Thing. This is a really cool pop because I think the rocks that they did on his body actually look really good and do a good job of representing the Thing. Overall, though, there really isn't a whole lot going on with this pop. He is, after all, just a rock, but there is a whole lot more going on under the surface of that rock than what meets the eye, so I think that's kind of a cool little feature about him, but you can't tell that. So anyway, I think this is a cool pop. I think it does do a great job, and I love the boxing pose that he kind of has there because ultimately, that's what we know the Thing as. He's going to get in there, and he's going to smash some stuff up. So this is a great pop, but we do have an exclusive version of him as well. Now, the exclusive version of the thing that we do have, I think, is significantly better than the common, but I feel like you do need to have both of them in your collection. But this is the thing in his disguise. Now, obviously, we know this isn't really a great disguise because it's just him in a trench coat and a top hat. But it does make him feel a lot better about how he looks at himself, and I do think it does put off some pretty cool aura. So this one is really cool. You can see he's still got his fists ready to punch if something is to come his way, but I really, really do like this Barnes & Noble exclusive. Now, one of my favorite characters that does go along with the Fantastic Four is the Silver Surfer, and I think this is a really cool Funko Pop. This one does have some cool design. I love the action-esque pose that he has on his surfboard. I just think it looks super cool, and he's actually one of the characters I am most excited to see in the Fantastic Four. As we know, we are getting the female version of the Silver Surfer, which is something that doesn't have a whole lot of storylines really in the comics, and definitely not in live-action movies, as this will be her first appearance in a live-action Marvel movie as the female Silver Surfer. But I think that's going to be really cool. But overall, I really like this pop, and I'm excited to pick up the new one and see how they compare to each other, because they are pretty basic pops overall because they're silver. There's not a whole lot of detail and stuff that you can have going on, but the action pose is what really makes these Funko Pops shine. Now, moving on to the big bad villain of the Fantastic Four, and one of the last two Fantastic Four Funko Pops that I happen to have, we have Doctor Doom. Now, this is a really cool pop. I love the green cape on him. I love his pose as well. I just think everything about Doctor Doom is really cool, and I am so excited to see the way the MCU is heading, with Doctor Doom presumably becoming the next big bad that all of the heroes have to take on. Thanos was amazing. He's one of my favorite Marvel characters, especially after the way the MCU treated him. I think it was just such an amazing story that they told with him, but I think Doctor Doom could have a lot of that stuff as well, and Doctor Doom is honestly a lot cooler than Thanos. So I am so stoked about the future of Marvel and Doctor Doom in particular, and this pop does a pretty great job representing him. Now, the last Fantastic Four Funko Pop that we have is actually another version of Doctor Doom, but this is him in the white cape, and I think this pop looks so cool. I love this one. This is actually a 2020 Spring Convention exclusive. Not exactly sure what con that was limited to. I'd probably have to go back and look it up, but this pop looks absolutely amazing. I think the white really does a lot for Doctor Doom. I do think the traditional green is cooler overall, but something about the way this white looks on this pop, I just think it pops so well, no pun intended, and I just really like this one. So if we do get some different versions of Doctor Doom in the MCU moving forward, maybe we have the white cape version, maybe we have the green one. There's so many different things, and they mean so much different stuff that I think it could be really cool, but having this pop, I think, is definitely one I would go out and hunt for if you're a big fan of the Fantastic Four and Doctor Doom, because I think this one could be worth something in the years moving forward, especially as we see how this story progresses with Doctor Doom. But overall, this is one of my favorite Fantastic Four pops. Now, we do have a couple more Fantastic Four Funko Pops that aren't technically from the Fantastic Four line. So let me show you guys what I'm talking about. The first two pops I'm going to be showing you guys are actually some of my favorite Funko Pops that do get a lot of hate, although I feel like it's definitely unwarranted, because this is one of my favorite lines Funko has done. We have the Venomized thing right here. Now, this is the GameStop exclusive metallic version, which I really like this metallic one. I think it just shines a little bit better than the regular one, but overall, this is a very cool pop. You guys can see, it kind of reminds me of Godzilla a little bit. When I was doing the recording for this one, I was like, he kind of looks like Godzilla a little bit, but this is the Venomized thing, so definitely very cool. And then we actually also have the Venomized Human Torch here. Now, this one is a GameStop exclusive. I don't think this one glows in the dark. I do think there is a glow-in-the-dark version of it, which would be really cool because you guys can see the mold looks so cool. But these are two of my favorite pops. I think the Venomized line is so underrated. The detail that they get into those pops is just incredible. So those are two other Fantastic Four pops, and we have one final one to show you guys, which, again, it's not technically from the Fantastic Four line, but this one literally says it on the box. We have the Fantastic Four Spider-Man. Now, this is my most recent pickup in the Fantastic Four line, and I think this one is incredible. I've done a short on this one before. The detail is so good on here. The action pose with the web swing looks so cool. Literally is a Fantastic Four Spider-Man. And I'm hoping maybe at some point we kind of get a Fantastic Four version of Spider-Man. I don't expect it to happen in the Fantastic Four movie, but I could definitely see it happening as something like Secret Wars or Doomsday eventually, which would be just absolutely awesome. I think that would be so cool to see him in the blue suit. I can dream, all right? But Yeah, these are the last of my Fantastic Four Pops, but I figured I'd show them because they are technically Fantastic Four Pops, just not from the official Fantastic Four line. Now, those are all of my Fantastic Four Funko Pops. If you guys have some that I don't have, let me know down in the comment section below, and also let me know what you think of the brand new wave of Funko Pops that we have gotten for the Fantastic Four, because like I said before, I think they are absolutely incredible, and I can't wait to get my hands on them. But overall, that is going to do it for today's video. We have a very great collection of Fantastic Four Pops, and I'm super excited to go see the movie tonight. I'm definitely going to be wearing this shirt because I think it is, obviously got to wear the Fantastic Four shirt to the movie, and I'm stoked for it. This is the most excited I've been for a Marvel movie in a while, so hopefully it delivers. But if this video did deliver, make sure you hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and turn that notification bell on so you never miss another episode. Have a lot more fun Funko Pop stuff planned for the future, and I think you guys will really enjoy it. So, as always, thank you so much for watching, and I can't wait to see you in the next one.